Welcome to the mindset and actions of a powerful alpha male leader. Welcome to this session 6. I am Skip Cour. In this session, we will talk about successfully integrating the thoughts and actions of an alpha leader into your lifestyle. So during this session, it's all about integration. It's all about taking all these facts, all these insights, all this information that you're taking in and actually applying it to your life, utilizing it, integrating it into your own personality. This session is all about taking what you've learned during this teleseminar, during this course, and making it stick and integrating it into your personality. This is all about getting you to have a lasting change, getting you to transform, getting you to manform into the man you really want to be. Now, all of this information from all of the men who get introduced to this information, and especially when it's a new perspective that they've never heard before, they're always very grateful. It creates an awareness, things that they haven't really been noticing on a real conscious level. And it's very beneficial, just the awareness factor. And with that awareness, they make leaps and bounds and make great progress in the way they look at the world and they take action. So awareness is key. And that part we've taken care of with all the information that you've been learning to, thinking about, practicing and exercising so far during this course. We want to take it farther than that. We want you to master these alpha male leadership skills. We want you to get all the options that you really want in your life by making this a part of who you really are, and that's what this session is all about. You get what you focus on in life, and you do not get what you do not focus on. It is as simple as that, gentlemen. If you want something in your life, whether it's to have a lot of money, whether it's to have a great relationship, whether it's to have a great physical body, or you want to be more of a powerful alpha male leader, you're going to have to focus on it. Nobody just shows up on this planet and walks into their life amongst people and they're great at something without focusing on it. Now, there are some people who seem like they're so natural. They seem like they're natural. The fact of the matter is, whether it's conscious or subconscious, whether they learned it from a course like this, or they kind of focused on it and picked up on it early in life, and then it became a point of focus for the rest of their life, they did not just show up. Somewhere along the line, they put special attention to this area of their life. They have put special attention to any area of their life that they're a master at. That's just how it works. You know, the old folks always say the people of this generation, they don't want to get in there and work. They don't want to put in their time. All right? And probably every generation since the beginning of time has been saying that. It's true, though. If you want to become great at anything, if you want to become a master, you have to focus on it. That's the only way to improve. And it would be nice if you can just hear this information and then never think about it again, and because you went through this course, it's totally integrated in your personality, and you get all the benefits that I promised. That would be great. That's just not how it works. You're going to need to focus on this area of your life. And I'm going to share a lot of different ways, a lot of different strategies, how to have fun and enjoy the process on focusing on this area of your life so you can master it, so you can enjoy all the benefits. You want to consciously decide on what it is you focus on in your life. Now, you've made the decision to invest in this course. You made the decision to take the time to listen to these sessions, take notes, take notice of this in the real world, and practice and exercise. You've already invested a certain amount of time, energy, and effort into enhancing your alpha male leadership qualities, characteristics, and actions. And that's awesome. To become a master on it, you're going to have to decide. You're going to have to decide right now that this is something you want to master in your life. You don't want to be one of those people who get really interested in something and they kind of dabble on it. They get really excited about it, and they might make it a part of their life for a couple weeks. And then somehow it just slips away. They forget about it. Something that they were just so passionate about, so determined to improve upon in their life. And time slips by. And then they look back, something reminds them of that passion, that interest, of that area of their life that they wanted to improve. And it's a year later. It's 2 years later. Oh yeah, I was really into that. Yeah, I really was into that for a little while. I wonder what took me away from that. All right. They just let time slip by. And sometimes maybe you've done this in your life in some areas. Boy, what if I would have just put a little bit of effort into that area of interest that I really wanted to improve on in my life? Just a little bit every single day or every couple of days. Where would I be now as I look back 2 years? All right. We don't want that to happen to you. We want you to consciously decide right here and now and what you're going to focus on. And I want you to focus on this area of your life so you can not just be aware, not that you can say, hey, that's some great information, so you can actually enjoy the benefits. You can create those options for your life. You can transform yourself. You can manform yourself into the man you really want to be. We're not going to let this slip away. We're going to decide right now that this is going to be an area of our lives that we are going to focus on. Your journey towards improving your alpha male leadership skills will be filled with ups and downs, highs and lows, twists and turns, and pros and cons. And this, gentleman, I want you just to expect. It would be so great if we can just have an interest, a passion, a desire to make change in our life. And we can listen to a course, take notes, get really started in the process, go through all the strategies that I will offer during this session to integrate this mindset and actions into your life. It would be great if it's all uphill from here, that we just enjoy the benefits. It's all smooth sailing. And hey, boy, I'm so glad that I invest in this course. My life has never been the same. It's been great. It's been an easy journey ever since I jumped into this program. Well, how many things in life work like that? Let me tell you why that is that just by you going through this course, just by you becoming more aware of what an alpha male does and looking at yourself and evaluating, hey, am I doing the things to be a powerful alpha male leader or am I not? Just being aware, you're going to improve. You're going to take your life to the next level. You're going to create options. And I'm sure that's already happened as we come to the last session of this course. Here's the challenge, though, gentlemen, is when you want more in your life, when you want to take things to the higher and higher level, when you want to take things to that higher and higher level, you're not going to be satisfied with just being aware, just being okay, just dabbling in it, just a few little tricks here and there. You're going to want more, and that's a great ambition and great mindset to have. That angst inside drives you to get more out of this, to become more powerful, to become more of a leader. That angst inside drives you to become more. What was fulfilling, what made you happy in the past, it no longer works. You want to take it up to a higher and higher level. And that's where the angst comes in. That's when you have challenges where if you look back before, you would have been happy if you would have had the skill set that you have right now, but you're no longer happy. And just when you think you have it down, just think when you think you can control the frame and you can get people to willingly, joyfully, and enthusiastically help you get what you want, and then you take it to higher and higher levels, you start demanding more out of yourself, guess what? You realize that you have to take your skill set to another level, to the next level, to enjoy more of what you want. And all of a sudden, what you thought you had mastered before, what you thought was easy before, isn't quite so easy. And that's where the frustration comes in. You might start asking yourself, God, I thought I had this down. Isn't this journey ever over? When will I ever just have this down so I can just put it on autopilot and I never have to think about it again? Well, if you think about the things in life that are really worth having, that really set you apart, that really make you a leader in any area of your life, it isn't like that, is it? It's always filled with those ups and downs, twists and turns, pros and cons. Talk about conflict and confrontation during this course, and how an alpha male looks at conflict and confrontation differently than more passive men, beta males. And because of that, he controls the frame, he has more options, he leads other people. Definitely a pro. Hey, you're winning at this game. You know, part of the con, there's no path in life that you take, whether you want to be assertive and take charge of your life and lead your own life and lead other people, or you want to be led. You want to be passive. There is no direction in life that you can take that is all pros and no cons. And if you believe that, you're fooling yourself. It's what you would rather have. And so when we talk about conflict and confrontation, although you may make that decision that that's what you want for your life, you're tired of avoiding conflict and confrontation, you will no longer be passive. You will take up your game and improve your skill set when dealing with conflict and confrontation. You're going to find out it still can be a painful process. It's never behind you. And you just have to understand that. It's filled with that. The more you want, the more challenges that will come your way. When you get to those challenging times, you need to ask yourself this question: would I have it any other way? That's the question you need to ask yourself. I find myself asking myself that question all the time. I ask myself that question all the time when times get tough. It would be so much easier a lot of times to back off or take the easy route or kick back and enjoy life and let someone else take the lead, or let someone else manage my time or take the direction of my life. And there are people who would be willing to do that. And then I stop and I say to myself, wow, this grind, this challenge, I wouldn't have it any other way. And if you're to that point where you are tired of being passive, you are tired of letting other people lead your life, you are tired of being the one who backs down during conflict and confrontation, you are tired of the one who other people tell you what to do, you're tired of settling for having fewer options in your life when you know you are so talented, you are hardworking, that you're a great person and you deserve more in life, then you will know at that time that all these challenges that you're going through, all the ups and downs that are going to be in front of you, you wouldn't have it any other way. And notice I call them challenges. I don't call them problems or setbacks. Okay? They're challenges. A challenge, your wording is very important. A challenge is like a game. A challenge is like a puzzle. You can figure it out. A problem, a setback, an inconvenience, all those things are another person has control of it. And you're trying to grab it back. But a challenge, you're in control. There is a way to figure out a challenge, and you have the power to figure it out. That wording is very important. There will be challenges in front of you, gentlemen, as you make your MANformation, as you step up and become a powerful alpha male leader. So remember that. Would you have it any other way? I say, heck no. There is no way in my life I would have it any other way. And I say to myself, I use a baseball analogy, is that when it comes to the game of life, I'd rather swing and miss, even if I look foolish, and strike out, rather than take a called third strike where the umpire tells me I'm out because I should have swung. I'd rather go down swinging, even if I look foolish, than take a called third strike. Ask yourself the question, would I have it any other way? When your MANformation, the alpha male leadership skills, gets challenging, you have basically two options. You can raise your standards. You can find a way to make it work. You can be more creative. You can become more influential and persuasive. You can use all those talents and abilities that we talked about throughout this course. You can use them to their fullest. Maybe you're not using them to their fullest right now. You can take advantage of all those resources that are available to you. You can identify, you can utilize them, you can exploit them, maximize those resources that you have. You can raise your standards and find a way during those challenges. Or your other option is you can lower your expectations. If you don't want more options, if you don't want to be treated by other people in a certain manner, if you don't want to lead your own life, if you don't want to lead other people, if that's not appealing to you, lower your expectations. But those are basically your two choices. Raise your standards or lower your expectations. I'm going to challenge you right now, and I want you to write this down in your notes. Which one are you going to choose? During the challenging times, before they come up, I want you to ask yourself right now, what are you going to do? Are you going to raise your standards, or are you going to lower your expectations? Decide right now and write that down. I'll tell you what is that I look around, I see so many people, they've rationalized to settle for so much less in life. And yeah, I can understand the appeal of that. I can see where that's a lot easier. A lot of times, not so much pressure. You're always stepping up. You're always dealing with other people. You're always trying to figure out a way, putting this constant pressure and stress on yourself to figure out a way. They just sit back. They're in this learned helplessness, and they just take life the way that it's handed out to them. And they rationalize to themselves that it's some planned effort on their part, where no, they let somebody else lead their own life. So decide right now, what are you going to do when those challenging times come about? Are you going to raise your standards, or are you going to lower your expectations? Now, when it comes to your MANformation, developing your alpha male leadership skills, it's very important to understand the concept of time. I've mentioned that a couple of times throughout this course. Is you must realize the next year is going to come and go. Whether you focus on this material, whether you practice and exercise, whether you do the daily disciplines that I'm going to outline during this session and take the 3-month challenge, the next year will come and go. Whether you do something about developing your alpha male leadership skills or you don't. The next 5 years, they'll come and go, whether you do something about it or not. Same thing with the next 10 years. Boy, doesn't it seem like the last year has just flown by? How about the last 5 years? If you're in your 30s or your 40s, remember you used to hear older guys, like your father and your uncle and the older men used to say, hey, once you get, and whatever age they said, whether it's 30 or 40, they said it starts going by really quickly. You want to make the most of the time you have on this earth. You want to make the most out of this time you have to take your life to the next level and understand that concept of time and do a little bit of work on becoming the man you really want to be every single day in some way, shape, or form. It's small improvements executed over a significant period of time that will produce massive results. You need to remember that. Just a little bit of focus, a little bit of reading, writing down a few sentences. Just do a little bit on a consistent basis. And that year that goes by, that 5 years that go by, you're going to be a totally different man. So if you're in a place right now where you're challenged, you just don't know how you're going to turn your life around. Life has been frustrating. Trust me, I've been there many times, and I find myself there the more I want more and more as I try to get to that next level where I'm frustrated. And I wonder, am I ever going to get there? Those thoughts are normal. What I need to realize is I need to do a little bit every single day. and knowing that they stack up over time, those small incremental improvements. It's keep on keeping on. Keep on doing those things you know you need to do and let time build up. Knowing I'm going to become a better man. And over time, I'm going to produce those massive results. You need to remember that no matter where you are in this process. If you're really struggling, whether you're doing okay, you just want a little bit more. If you even are doing pretty darn well, but you want to take it to an elite level, the same mindset, the same concept of those small incremental improvements apply to you. Your perspective is critical to your success. How you manage your state. You must know you are winning the game when you are winning. I can't tell you how many men I coach, and they're doing the things, they're improving, the quality of their life is changing, they're creating more options, yet they have no concept. It takes me, a second brain, to help them reflect upon their life and tell them, well, hey, think about it. 3 months ago, this is where you were. And they go, wow, you're right. And then they get empowered. They were winning the game, yet they didn't know that they're winning the game. Here's the challenge is, when you're winning, but you don't realize it, you walk around like you're losing, like this isn't working, even though it may be working, you just don't have the right perspective. Are you going to make the right choices? Or are you going to continue on with your program? Are you going to keep on keeping on? It is critical that you know when you are winning the game, when you are winning. So I'm going to talk about how to know when you are winning. Anything in life that you can document, assess, and monitor with your progress, you can improve upon effectively, efficiently, and in the shortest period of time. I'm going to say that again. Anything in life that you can document, assess, and monitor your progress, you can improve upon effectively, efficiently, and in the shortest period of time. It's more about focus, what I've talked about, and it's about keeping track, recording, okay? You must remember this. If you are focusing on your alpha male leadership skills and are documenting, assessing, and monitoring your progress, then you are indeed improving. Just by that fact alone, you don't have to do some magical subjective scale. Am I more alpha? Am I more of a leader? Am I controlling the frame of the relationship? What? Compared to what? The law of relativity says that nothing in life has any value unless it's compared to something else. Depending on how much food you have in your stomach, how things are going, if you're a role or not, that's how you'll decide how well you're doing. All right? That's not a subjective way of measuring if you're progressing or not. It's not always reliable. How many times have you looked at work, whether it's writing or something that you accomplished at your job? Maybe it's with your physique and you see a picture, all right, and you're working out and you're eating right and you get in great shape. How many times at that moment you had no appreciation for what you accomplished? It was no big deal. And you may have even thought you were struggling while you were doing well. And then you look back, 3 months later, you look back on what you've accomplished, whether it's at work or with your body or some writing you've done or something, and you're like, wow, I did that? Wow, I'm absolutely amazing. Okay, you want to realize that you're absolutely amazing at the time and not when you reflect back on it 3 months later. When you can appreciate what you're accomplishing in the moment, that gives you power, that gives you momentum. And you start doing the things you know you need to do on a more consistent basis. It's easier to keep on keeping on with the things you know you need to do when you're winning the game. All right? This is a belief. Throughout this course, I've talked about rules, beliefs, values, and standards. Here is a belief that I want you to adopt, and I want you to write this out right now when it comes to your alpha male leadership skills. If you are focusing on your alpha male leadership skills and are documenting, assessing, and monitoring your progress, then you are improving. Now all you need to do is let a week go by, a month go by, 3 months go by, 6 months go by, a year go by, 5 years go by, and you are getting closer and closer to the alpha male leader and the man you really want to be. Just by focusing, just by documenting, assessing, and monitoring, you're already winning. All right? That's the belief that you want to have. Successfully integrating the thoughts and actions of an alpha leader into your lifestyle require two things. Concentrated focus on this area of your life on a continual basis for a period of time. And then documentation, assessment, and monitoring for a period of time. All right? So we're going to concentrate. We're going to dedicate 3 months of our lives. We're going to take these thoughts that we're consciously gathering, thinking about, applying, practicing, exercising, improving upon, something that is not necessarily intuitive in many cases. In many cases, it's counterintuitive. All right? We're going to work on this. We're not good at it right now, or we're not doing as well as we want to be. We're not doing as well as we will with practice and exercise in the future. All right? We want to do it for a period of time until the skill set goes from the conscious thought into our subconscious. And we have to invest a period of time. And if you're the person who is listening to this last session of this course, and you've invested in this course, then I know that you're the type of person who will invest a period of time to focus on this area so you can master it and have it go from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind and make it habits. And then you're also the person who would document, assess, and monitor for a period of time to make sure that process happens. You must consciously work on your alpha male leadership skills until those skills become unconscious habits. And it's going to take a period of time. You've gone your whole life, whether that's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, thinking a certain way. Now, throughout this course, I've challenged your rules, beliefs, values, and standards. I've given you specific strategies, specific thoughts and actions of alpha male. I've rattled you up. I sold you on the fact of what an alpha male does in certain situations in ways that you may have not ever been aware of. All right? Now it's time to practice and exercise. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take focus and concentration on your part to integrate that into your personality, to rewire your brain, to condition new rules, beliefs, values, and standards. So you have to make that investment. Gathering this information, listening to it, being entertained, learning a few new little tricks, becoming aware is a little bit better. That is a great start, yet you have to take it over the top. You have to put in your time. You do not master anything in life until you put in your time. I want you to master this material. I want you to become more than aware. I want this to make massive changes in your life, not small changes, not, hey, those are neat little tricks, just become aware. Hey, I've benefited from this course already. Hey, that's awesome, Skip. No, I want more for you. I want you to see its full power by mastering this area of your life. You need to put in your time. To keep your passion and enthusiasm up, to keep your passion and enthusiasm, you must constantly take your efforts to higher and higher levels. Now, what do I mean by that? You learn a few things about your mindset, about setting frames, about how you will approach conflict and confrontation, how to walk with certainty and confidence, how to stand, how to even sit. You learn a lot of great new things that you are more than likely feeling the effects, if not from other people, you yourself are feeling more powerful, more certain, more confident, more like a leader, ready to lead your own life, ready to lead other people. All right? Let me just tell you something that's awesome. If you stay at this level for too long, you're not going to be so happy and satisfied and proud of yourself. That's just the way that it works. You have to take your skill set to higher and higher levels. Now, I know those mediocre people in life, They tell you, oh, just be happy with what you have. Don't expect more. Don't get on that train to nowhere, expecting more and more out of life. That's how people are unhappy. People are unhappy when they start settling, when they become stagnant. All right, if I were to give you $1 million right now, and you thought about everything that $1 million could bring into your life, all the options, all the emotions that it could bring to your life, and you got really excited. And if you really believe that I was indeed going to give you that $1 million, and we were to rate that on a scale from 1 to 10, that might make you a 10 right now. Thank you, Skip. Thank you so much for that $1 million. Again, scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not so excited about it, 10 being extremely excited about it. You're a 10. You're a 10 plus. All right? 6 months from now, you still may be at a 10. Tell you what, a year from now, it's going to start diminishing. Even though it's $1 million, even with the interest, all right? All right? When you look back on this 5 years from now, you'll say, oh, yeah, I remember that time Skip gave me $1 million. That was awesome. It won't be a 10 anymore. If it stays stagnant, your level of passion and enthusiasm will wane. That's just how life works. You have to keep taking everything you do to higher and higher levels and deal with the angst that comes with that if you want to remain happy. As peak performance coach Anthony Robbins says, the secret to life is to continually grow. And it's so true. If you think about athletes who have performed in front of the Super Bowl and in front of millions of fans, not only all over the world, on television, in the stadium itself, they're the MVP, the zenith of their career. Or child actors or teen stars that are wildly popular, have a lot of money, they achieve success in a lot of areas of their life. What happens is it's very hard to top that. It's very hard to grow, and many times they have a hard time dealing with that because they have to look for whether it's in that same area to take it to a higher level or find some other area of their life that they can get that same passion and enthusiasm for and get that continual growth. And that's why you'll see a lot of entertainers, a lot of movie stars, athletes who have achieved a lot of success. They turn to drugs to change their state instantly because that growth that they experience, that high of life, it's stagnant or they find themselves going backwards. It's just a human condition, and you need to understand that. If you think that you're going to learn a certain level of alpha male leadership skills, and it's going to make you happy right now, and then you're going to just be on autopilot for the rest of your life, it's not going to work that way. So be prepared to take it to higher and higher levels. And I don't care if you become the leader in your particular city, your state, your country, there's always a higher level of mastery. All right, so if you're the alpha male, you're the leader, you got things handled, there's always that higher level. So keep your eye on that. Realize that you're going to need to grow. Again, what makes you happy now more than likely will not make you happy at the same level in the future. And I want you to think about that right now because that's really important, because this course is something that I want you to think about. I want you to focus on. I want you to execute. I want you to practice and exercise for the rest of your life. Because I want you to successfully integrate this into your lifestyle. And that's what it's going to take. I want you to think about areas in your life that you are pretty darn good at. You got to a certain level, and you got a lot of passion and enthusiasm for. And then for whatever reason, you don't even do it anymore. I have to remind you that you used to be good at something. What happened? If you really think about it, something that made you so happy that you were really good at before, you got to a certain level and either you could not get to a higher level or you were no longer interested in taking it to another level. The secret to life is to constantly grow in some way, shape, or form. Remember that, gentlemen. there's always the next level to your alpha male leadership skills and everything in life. So let's talk about 10 effective strategies that will help you integrate the thoughts and actions of an alpha leader into your lifestyle. Remember I talked about at the beginning of this course, I talked about mastering a certain area of your life, becoming great at an area of your life, whether that's your job or playing an instrument or working out in the gym, that it usually comes down to about 10 fundamentals that you do over and over again. And when you've done those 10 fundamentals, well, you get better at those 10 fundamentals. And then you get better and better and better. Basically, it comes down to 10 things. When you master those areas of your life, and then when you continually take those fundamentals to the next level, you get to higher and higher levels. And that's how it's going to work with your alpha male leadership skills. You know, there's always fancy new tricks. There's always new information out there. And when I deal in the bodybuilding and training world, it's always a distraction for so many of the men that I coach in that particular area is they get away from the fundamentals, the basic eating and the training and the execution of the fundamentals, and they look for the new, sexy, exciting new supplement or some training strategy that's newfangled, and they don't even have the basic fundamentals down. All right? I want you to pound the fundamentals when it comes to your alpha male leadership skills, and I'm going to give you some ways to make sure that you concentrate on those fundamentals and you continue executing them, because executing the fundamentals will be the key to your success. Again, you don't need to have new information all the time. Many times, it's the core, it's the nucleus, it's the fundamentals that you just need to focus on and get better at that'll take you to higher and higher levels. So let's talk about some strategies. Number one, structure a sprint mentality toward your MANformation, your alpha male leadership skills, and not a marathon mentality. And what do I mean by that? You want to have intensity. You want to have focus. You want to sprint with 100% effort and attention. And then you want to rest and recuperate. And then you want to sprint again with all that intensity and focus and passion and zeal and enthusiasm. Put all your effort into it, and then you want to relax and recuperate mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. And then you want to sprint again. Everything you do, you want to give 100%. When it comes to sports, I remember I had coaches when it came to the sports I played. And one thing that the great coaches emphasized was that during practice, I treat it like it's a game. I give 100% effort. I give 100% focus and attention. I don't get lackadaisical just because it's practice, because when it's game time, I'm going to carry those lackadaisical habits into the game. Either I do it or I don't. All right, when it comes to your MANformation alpha male leadership skills, you don't want to just put this pressure on yourself to perform, to execute all these things that I'm talking about forever, like an endless marathon, okay? If I just told you to run, just run, go ahead, just run. You're going to have to make a decision. Well, how far am I going to run? And how fast should I run? How hard should I run? How much effort should I put in? If you think you're going to be running a marathon, it is going to be a lot less intense, a lot less focused, a lot less determined than if I told you run a 100-meter sprint. In your mind, you know there's a start and a finish, and you can just do that burst of energy. Give it all your attention and focus. You could step up when it's time to step up, rather than this paced, half-hearted, cautious effort. I want you to set up your MANformation. your attention to these skills in a sprint mentality. How are you going to do that? Now, I'm going to outline daily disciplines, basic things that I want you to do every single day, and I want you to do them for at least 3 months. So this can be integrated into your personality. When they become habits, they can go from the conscious and they become habits that are in your subconscious. All right? So I'm going to outline some daily disciplines that I want you to do. I want you to do these daily disciplines Monday through Friday. I want you to take the weekends off. I want you to rest and recuperate physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically on the weekends. But when it's time to go with your alpha male leadership skills, Monday through Friday, it's time to just sprint with that intensity. All right? Intensity is the key to your success. Enthusiasm will fluctuate up and down. You'll give a different level of effort. You'll put a different level of importance as your enthusiasm goes up and down. All right? So we don't want to do this forever. We want to sprint and rest. Sprint and rest. All right? You can indeed produce massive results in this area of your life, focusing on it 5 out of every 7 days. All right? That's a lot more than you've done so far, right? Before you were introduced to this course, you weren't even aware of these things. All right? So me telling you that intensity is the key, I want you to decide and dedicate your focus 5 out of 7 days. On your weekends, I want you to relax and recuperate. Those are 5 days that you weren't giving before. All right? Trust me on this one. All right? I want you to resist striving to be extra disciplined, extra focused, extra enthused, extra determined, and do it 7 days a week forever. All right? There needs to be a start and a finish. Longevity and durability are more important to your success than that extra discipline, than going forever. You know, when I trained people in the gym over the phone and I would talk to them about how to improve their physiques and their bodies when it came to working out, you know, one thing they want to do, they wanted to train for a couple hours and they wanted to do lots of different exercises and lots of different sets, thinking that the more they did, the more effective and the more productive they'd be in the gym. What they didn't realize is if you have a 2-hour workout, look, you're only human. You're only human physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. You are pacing yourself through that 2-hour workout. You are creating a marathon mentality. No matter how tough you are, there is no doubt in my mind that if you are just as focused, just as determined, just as driven, just as dedicated, just as passionate, that you can go harder for an hour than you could for 2 hours. There's no doubt in my mind. That's just the way that it is. All right? You need to understand that you doing this forever, you're going to water down your level of effort, your level of focus, how much this sticks, and how you integrate it to your lifestyle. All right? Resist being extra disciplined 5 days a week is what I'm asking you to do, what I'm giving you the directive to do, because longevity and durability are more important. I want you to be doing this 6 months from now. I want you to be doing this and enjoying its benefits a year from now and 5 years from now. I don't want you to just burn out by going 3 weeks straight and then slowly getting tired and then you're dealing with the ups and the downs and the all arounds and the pressure you put on yourself, and there's certain phrases that I'm going to insist you do. If I think it, I must do it. Okay, you're going to start becoming aware of so many different things in your life, and you're going to have to step up to those challenges. You're going to have to step up to that challenge 7 days a week. It's going to get tiring. We want to sprint, and then we want to recuperate and rest and get back our mental energy, recharge our batteries physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Okay. Now, this approach, this 5 out of every 7 days, taking the weekends off, it sets up perfectly, congruently with your work schedule, your exercise program, and your family and lifestyle responsibilities. All right? It works together. Remember, we talked about that dream life and how everything has to be congruent and has to all work in the same direction. All right? Doing this 5 out of 7 days, along with your work schedule, along with your workout program, along with your family responsibilities, taking the weekend off, it fits in perfectly. And that's what we're going to do. Again, there's always a starting point and there's always a finish line when it comes to the amount of focus that you have decided that you're going to do in this area for at least 3 months. There's always a starting point and there's always a finish line. It's really important because there are going to be times where you're going to get tired and you're going to have a bad week and you're going to say, geez, I am so done with this. And you're going to kind of veg out. Maybe it's a Thursday or a Friday. The week isn't quite over yet. Well, when you know that you can limp into the weekend and then just take it off Saturday and Sunday, you always know that Monday morning is when you get back on your game. It's always important to know when to start, when to stop. We're setting this up for mental intensity. Intensity is the key, all right? And it's built in the program. And again, you will indeed improve focusing on this 5 out of 7 days. You will not turn into a passive beta male on the weekends. Trust me. Actually, what's going to happen is that you focus with this amount of intensity. You do the daily disciplines that I'm going to outline for you. It's going to be a job. If you want to master something, you have to put in the work. You have to do your time. And I've got 3 months of work for you to do. That may be counterintuitive to some of you. It may seem like it's tedious or unnecessary. Well, you're not going to know its benefit until you do it. And I give you the directive to commit to this so you can see what's on the other side. Don't theorize if this 3 months of extra work is going to change your life. Don't theorize. You don't know. You're only going to know when you look back after putting your time for the 3 months. What's going to happen is, even when you relax on the weekends, you're going to be at such a powerful level of awareness and execution. It's going to be so far above where you are right now. Your level of competency, your level of awareness, it's going to improve. You're not going to just turn into a beta male. It's just that you're going to let yourself relax, to recharge your battery, to rest and recuperate your mind, your body, your spirit, so you're ready to go again, hard and heavy, on Monday. Number 2, review your dream life on a weekly basis. And we talked in our last session all about your dream life, how important that is to set up a target for what you want in your life. It's important that you remind yourself on what you really want on a consistent basis. You don't want to look back 3 years from now, oh yeah, I wanted to write that book. Boy, I haven't done anything about it. All right. Now, remember, we talked about during our last session about a dream life. That can be the most exciting and exhilarating exercise that you can do for your life. Bring you so much joy, passion, and excitement. And it's also going to be the most overwhelming and frustrating when you look at your dream life on a consistent basis and you don't feel that you're making progress. All right. That constant reminder, you must adopt this belief. By me reading my dream life every week, I am getting closer to the life that I really want, no matter how it feels to me right at the moment. By me just taking in this in one more time, it's marinating in the back of my brain, and I will identify opportunities and resources that I would not have identified if I didn't constantly feed this to my mind. So although it may feel uncomfortable sometimes in the short run, it is going to my subconscious brain, and it is making my life better. It is getting me one step closer. You need to remind yourself of what you really want on a consistent basis. You don't want to look back and say, oh yeah, I used to want to do that. Boy, hey, time has slipped by, and I never made my dreams come true. You took the time, you were courageous to write out this dream life. I know it was difficult at first to think so big. You built momentum. And then when you wrote some things down, then you went back and you started noticing other things, whether it's a home, whether it's the perfect mate that you saw your buddy have, and then you went back to your dream life. That took a lot of courage. I commend you for that. Remind yourself of that so you work towards that bullseye. When you review your dream life on a weekly basis, it allows the magic to start working for you. And I kind of made a little joke during our last session about there's no magic There's no secret. It's just that you've identified exactly what you want, and then you use all of your talents and abilities and all the resources that were already available to you to their fullest, and you are making the magic happen. So when you review your dream life on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis, this allows the magic to start working for you. You will unconsciously start using those talents, abilities, and resources more effectively. And I want you to continually make updates, revisions, and additions to your dream life when you're looking at it. Maybe a formal time where you sit down, just maybe jot down some notes on a piece of paper when you do it, whatever it takes. Enhance it, grow with it. When you want more, that's awesome. We talked about the process, how you're going to have a file in your computer in different versions, right? I want you to create the discipline, the habit, whether you feel like it or not, to review your dream life every Sunday night as you plan your upcoming productive week. Again, it's a discipline. It may feel uncomfortable to you. I want you to plant that in your head. Now, you may not see the value in this right away, but as a week goes by, as a month goes by, as 6 months go by, as a year goes by, you will see its value. And I want you to do it whether you see its value or not. All right? Every Sunday night, I want you to take a minute, whether your dream life is a paragraph, 2 pages, or some gigantic 8-page dream life that I read to you. Review your dream life every Sunday night as you plan your productive week. Number 3, execute your alpha male leadership daily disciplines. And here they are. These are daily disciplines, things that I want you to do on a consistent basis. At the end of every day, I want you to evaluate your day, and I want you to do it at a specific time, whether it's right before you go to bed. My bedtime varied, and so I found that was the original time that I had planned. And then I found it was better before I left my office, before I left my desk at 5 or 6, that was the best time to evaluate my day. As long as you're consistent, that's what's important, that you can schedule it in like a discipline every single day. So here's the process, and the wording is very important. At the end of every day, what was awesome about my MANformation day? I want you to think about that. What was awesome about it? I really controlled the frame of the relationship. I knew exactly what I wanted. I'm really taking charge. I'm really loving this process. I stepped up to a challenge. I wanted to back away, but I thought it, so I must do it. Right? Think of 10 things. People are responding to me in a certain way, and I can feel it. Hey, I picked up the check where I didn't normally do that. Right? I want you to identify. We get what we focus on. There are so many people who are conditioned in this world to focus on the negative. It doesn't matter how great they're doing. They're looking for continual improvement, and what they don't realize is that they're always looking for something negative, how something can fail, how something can go wrong. And you get what you focus on in this world. All right? I am going to recondition your brain. I am going to rewire your brain. And the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself at that specific time at the end of your day, what was awesome about my MANformation day? All right? Now, I can already tell you that for many people, the second question is what pops into the mind first. It's what wasn't quite where I want it yet. All right? You might think of a couple things. I noticed I did this wrong, or I need to become better at this. No, you put that second. I want you to create a discipline. I want you to force yourself to think about what was great about your day. You build that momentum, you create that enthusiasm, you focus on the good, you focus on your progress. More of it will come into your life. You need to identify it. Again, you need to know that you are winning the game when you are winning. So before you go on to what wasn't where you want it yet, I want you to think of 5 things. If you can only think of 3, push yourself further. 1 more rep, like you were in the gym. Think of at least 5 things that was awesome about your MANformation day. You know what the exciting thing about this exercise is? It might be tough for you to do it, to execute it properly your first week or maybe even your first month. You might think of 1 or 2, and then you want to hurry up to get to the things that aren't going quite so well yet. With practice and exercise, you'll start rattling off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might get up to 10 things. This was awesome about my MANformation day. Do that first. Get to 5. Push yourself until you get at least 5. And then when you have 5 down, this is working so well, then start asking for 10. All right, before you go on to the second question. What wasn't quite where I want it yet? Notice my terminology, yet. That's the assumption, the belief that you're going to get it there eventually. It's very important how you phrase things to yourself. I didn't say, hey, what was horrible about my MANformation day? What did I blow today? Where am I falling short? No, what wasn't quite where I want it yet? Okay, I can control frames a little bit better. Or kind of could have avoided a little bit of conflict by becoming more assumptive that things were going to work out. Okay, I found myself slouching. Or, man, I was in a down mood. And I wasn't walking like the alpha male, the powerful man that I am, as much as I needed to today. That wasn't quite so perfect yet. All right, but I have identified it, and I'm gonna work on that. And then the third part of this question is, what has to happen for me to make my complete MANformation and love every minute of the process? Very important on the way you phrase this question. Okay, your MANformation, that man you really want to be, that alpha leader who leads his own life and leads other people. What has to happen? All right, and you might find yourself when you think this all out, you might be repeating the same 5 or 10 things every single day, and that's okay. I need to make this amount of money. I must live in this house. I must drive this car. I must control relationships in such a manner. I must pay special attention to my love interest, my wife, my girlfriend, whatever. All right, whatever it is, rattle it down. What has to happen for you to make your total MANformation? When you've arrived, when that day finally comes, what would have to happen? And again, I don't care if you repeat the same 10 things every single day. That focus, that attention, that going through the exercise every day is getting you one step closer. You must remember that. Have fun with this process. This is a discipline. At the end of every day, you evaluate your day, and you do it at a specific time. What was awesome about my MANformation day? And you push yourself till you get at least 5. You don't skip ahead. But your second question is, what wasn't quite where I want it yet? I will get there. And then what has to happen for me to make my MANformation? I am there and love every minute of it. All right? Have fun with it. All right, here's another one of your daily disciplines. Plan your day the night before and do it at a specific time. Again, right before you go to bed, right before you leave your office. It doesn't matter exactly when. You just want to be consistent with it. All right? And when you plan your day, this is a great thing to be productive in all areas of your life. And like I said, as you work towards your dream life, as you become more productive, when you start being able to actually get those options in life, it's a great strategy to be more productive in your life. I want you to identify 3 alpha male leadership qualities, characteristics, and actions that you will focus on that day. I'm going to really perfect my walk today. I'm going to control a frame. I'm going to really work on my voice qualities today. Whatever it is, you focus on it, you pay special attention to it, you monitor what you do, you're going to improve. Day by day, you get one step closer by going through this discipline. And you plan your day, all areas of your life. Plan your workout. Plan the way you're going to eat. Plan your job. If you're an entrepreneur, that's where you really need to plan your day because no one's there to plan it for you. You do that the night before. You go to bed at night with a plan. You let it marinate while you're sleeping. Your brain is active when you're sleeping. You wake up going in a direction already. You don't wake up, get some coffee, wake up, and then start planning out your day, what you're going to focus on. Right? You want to wake up with it already marinating, with a plan of action. You get up and you already start moving in that direction. This is where you're going to find that you have more time than you think. It's when you use it effectively by planning your day the night before and do it at a specific time. When you wake up, like I said, it's marinating what you've planned before, but the first thing you do is review what you planned first thing in the morning. Where am I going? I know what I want. I know where I'm going. Take 30 seconds to review what you've had planned. These two strategies are massively productive. You want to get towards your life goals, your life plans. You want to become the man you really want to be. You want to become an alpha male leader. Planning your day the night before, identifying 3 alpha male leadership qualities, characteristics, and actions that you will focus on that day, and then reviewing it first thing in the morning is going to put you there. Again, focusing on one area of your life, that's what helps you become a master when you do it on a consistent basis. Then you start documenting every time you've stepped up with your alpha male leadership skills. I want you to take inventory. For 3 months, I want this challenge. So you start noticing, and I want you to write it down. Remember, I talked about how taking notes while you're listening to my voice, even if you never review those notes, there's more retention. It becomes more a part of who you are, your identity, and what you're all about just by writing it down. I want you to start documenting every time you stepped up with your alpha male leadership skills. Those are some disciplines I want you to adopt immediately. Right? And then we're going to chart your alpha male leadership progress. And we're going to do it for 3 months. I want you to take this challenge. I want you to take this challenge no matter how tedious that you may not see how this is going to benefit you. Right now, there is a chart provided for you. And those disciplines are all lined out. And they're listed in days 1 through 31. You pick it up, you get an X. If you execute it, there's no in between. I either did it or I didn't. And if you didn't, it's a 0. X and 0. You want to make a game out of it. You want to take your accountability checklist, and then you want to be able to look back at the end of your month, especially during that week, all right, because we're going to take the weekends off. You want to see a lot of X's, not very many O's. Again, anything in life that you can document, assess, and monitor your progress, you can improve upon effectively, efficiently, and in the shortest period of time. We're going to take the 3 months challenge, gentlemen. You're going to step up and integrate this into your lifestyle with your accountability checklist. This will help you integrate the alpha male leadership into your lifestyle. You can never back down once you are convinced you must do something to improve your alpha male leadership skills. This is all about creating empowering habits in our thinking and in our actions. All right? It's all about creating that momentum. All right? When you've been convinced of something, we've talked about the alpha male takes charge of the check. When he's with a group of friends, he takes charge. He doesn't necessarily pay for it. All right? He gets out his calculator and gives directives to the rest. Okay, it's this much a piece. All right? He takes charge. He doesn't let it sit in the middle of the table until someone else wants to take charge and take the lead. All right? Once you know that, all right, and you think it, then you must do it. You can never back down. When it talks about eye contact, oh, I don't feel like it. You know it's important. You've already been sold on its importance. You can't pick and choose when you're going to become an alpha male. You show up 365 days a year, 24/7, 365. You can't back down. This is your motto, gentlemen, when it comes to your alpha male leadership skills. If I think it, I must do it. Hey, I thought it, I must do it. You can never back down. That's how you build that emotional muscle. And you can't change your mind and start rationalizing, oh, well, somebody else took care of it. Oh, that's not that important. Oh, I used to think what Skip was saying about what I needed to do to become more of a leader and take charge of my life was important. Well, that's a little uncomfortable for me now, so I'm not going to do it. Okay? You don't make that decision after you fail to step up. All right? Rationalizing afterwards doesn't work. All right? If you think it, you must do it. You either do or you don't. And record all the times when you stepped up at the end of your day. And list all the times that you didn't. And that's one of those things that, hey, isn't quite perfect yet, so at least you learn from it. To integrate these alpha leadership qualities and characteristics into your life, you must put yourself in uncomfortable situations on a regular basis. You need to change the meaning of discomfort, stress, and pressure, what it means to you. You need to see it as growth, as a challenge, as a game, and as excitement. And knowing that the stronger you become, the more you can willingly, joyfully, and enthusiastically take on what you used to think as uncomfortable situations. It'll just become who you are. You must build up your level of tolerance to discomfort in life, just like you build muscle in the gym. The more you work it, the easier it is to handle. You don't look to have less stress in your life, as the saying goes. You become a stronger person to deal with that stress. Become an expert at identifying, analyzing, and executing powerful alpha male behavior. I want you to become a student of a powerful alpha male qualities, characteristics, and actions. I want you to take what you've learned during this course and use it only as a start. I want you to build upon it. I want you to start noticing it. I want you to work towards becoming an expert. When you start seeing how this information and the execution of this information enhances the quality of your life, how it provides more options, I want you to get excited. I want you to use that social proof, that evidence that it's working, to build more men and get you more excited. I want you to build upon what you've learned here and become that expert. I want you to fall in love with this material. I want it to be your passion because there's so many benefits to your life. It's going to make you feel so great about who you are and what you're all about. I want your identity to become that of a powerful alpha male. When you look in the mirror, I want you to be proud of that man you are becoming. I want you to fall in love with the whole process, all the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the twists and turns, the good times, the bad times, and everything in between. It's like a game. It's like fun. And a game isn't always exciting when you're winning by 30 points. Sometimes you got to come from behind. And it's those times when you come from behind and then you show what you're really made out of. That's what makes this drama called life really exciting. When I look back on my bodybuilding career, my biggest victory came at 1 year after my biggest disappointment. When I look back and what I cherish is that time I stepped up, I worked through all my fears, all my insecurities, all my self-doubt, and I showed who I really was, and I took it in all areas of my life that I can come back. So I want you to fall in love with every part of this process, even when it gets challenging. Fall in love with you becoming the powerful alpha male leader that you really want to be and living the life that you really want to live. Here's another way to integrate these alpha male leadership skills into your personality. Create your own list of alpha male leadership qualities, characteristics, and actions that you are committed to mastering. Right? I've given you a lot of information here, a lot of insight, a lot of stimulation for thought. Build upon that. Start listing this. Notice it in other people, right? In other powerful men. Continually upgrade your influence and persuasion skills. There's something that I emphasize throughout this course that I continually learn on a daily basis. Is that next level for me in life is my ability to influence and persuade other people to willingly, joyfully, and enthusiastically help me enjoy, experience, and have the life that I really want. Everything in life that you don't have right now, it will come from other people, either directly or indirectly. You will learn so much about other people as you jump into the influence and persuasion process. You will learn so much about yourself. Have fun with this process. It's all part of your MANformation. It's all part of you becoming that powerful alpha leader. And when you learn the skills, there's so many things to learn. Focus on your bag of tricks, your go-to things, your fundamentals. There might be 3 or 4 things you do or say that you know that work. Master those and then move on to other things. Know what works and use it over and over again. there were certain things. I was doing some coaching with a good buddy of mine, and we kind of had fun. We were in Las Vegas in a mall, and as we walked down, I had a certain 2 or 3 lines that the whole weekend is hearing the same things over and over and over again. And he said, hey, you're using the same lines. You're using these same influence and persuasion skills to everyone. And I said, they didn't hear me tell somebody else that. It's new to them. What, I got to think of, I have these great things that are highly effective, that work, and you want me to think of a brand new one? You want me to go to number 10 on my list, number 12, number 15 on my list, because I already used my best 3 and these people never heard it? Come on, how much sense does that make? NBC, the television network, had a saying during their rerun season that if you haven't seen it, then it's new to you. So don't think you got to come up with something new and creative. Get your fundamentals, your bag of tricks, your go-to things that are most effective when it comes to your influence and persuasion skills. Human behavior runs in patterns, and we are not always the individualized thinkers that we think we are. All right, we all want to think we're special and different, yet human beings run in patterns. Now, intelligence is not about how many things you learn. Intelligence is how mentally flexible you are. Intelligence is understanding that everything in life, whether it's a computer, whether it's a certain performance at your job and how to perform at your job, or whether it's people, there are general patterns that come up over and over and over again. The sooner you can identify the pattern and then act accordingly because you figured out the pattern, that's how intelligent you are. People run in patterns, just like everything in life. The greatest leaders, salespeople, religious leaders, and also the biggest con artists and cult leaders were all students of influence and persuasion, and they've figured out those patterns. They focused on this area of their life, and they enjoy the benefits, whether they're a force for good or a force for bad. Okay? It's like I said, is that if you want to master one area of your life, you need to focus. You need to break down the distinctions, all right? Figure out the patterns. That's what I want you to do when it comes to influence and persuasion. I want you to make influence and persuasion work for you and not against you. I want you to know that influence and persuasion is something that benefits your life and not that other people use on you. Another way to integrate this MANformation, alpha male leadership, qualities, characteristics, and actions into your lifestyle, integrate them into your personality, is to get other people involved in your MANformation. Use other people to help you stay on track with your MANformation. This is a tremendous resource. Throughout this course, I talked about utilizing, first identifying, and then utilizing, then exploiting to the fullest all the resources that are available to you. And we talked about how people are a valuable resource. People can help you step up. People can help you stay accountable to yourself, to remind you of who you really are and to use all your abilities. Get them involved in the process. Share your passion. Share your observations with others. Lead other men in this process. There is nothing more alpha. There is nothing more powerful than men leading other men. You want to be that man? You want to lead other men. You want to get them involved in this process. And you want to surround yourself with people who fit into your frame the majority of the time. You don't want to convince other people about what you're doing and where you're going and what's important to you. Trust me, you're going to find a lot of people who have conflicting rules, beliefs, values, and standards in you, especially when it comes to being a leader. Most people don't lead. At least 90% get led by other people. What, you think that you're going to be, they've chosen that path in life? You're going to convince them that they need to be a leader? They're not like you. They haven't invested their financial resources, their time and energy and effort into a course like this. they've convinced themselves that the way they're living is the right way to live. That is congruent with their rules, beliefs, values, and standards. That's fine. It's okay to have a project to work on, to convince, to influence, and persuade. All right? You just don't want to spend most of your time with people who have conflicting rules, beliefs, values, and standards. Life's too tough as it is. You surround yourself with the energy of like-minded people that builds your momentum. You want to focus your attention on people who can help you in your life and propel you forward. And that takes a decision on your part to use that resource of other people to help you with your MANformation, to help you with your alpha male leadership qualities, characteristics, and actions. Now, I want you to go through your notes throughout this course, all as I've given you so many insights, so many perspectives, so many action strategies of a powerful alpha male. And there are so many things to focus on. I want you to start picking out certain things that you will focus on. What's most important to you? Instead of just doing a little bit in all these different areas, I want you to start identifying what's most important to you. What are you going to concentrate on first? What are you going to master first before you go on to other things? Now, that doesn't mean that you've become aware of all this information and you can't let it marinate in the back of your mind and on a subconscious level start implementing in your life. But we want to plan. We want to decide how we're going to attack this. And there are so many different aspects that I've introduced to you. We want to start focusing our plan of attack, how we're going to break this down, which ones we're going to focus on for a period of time first so we can master them before we move on. We don't want to just dabble, okay? We want to focus and master and let it go from our conscious mind to our subconscious. So I'm going to go over a few things for a few minutes that I want you to write down notes and to decide what's important to you. This, along with going through your notes that you've taken through this course, it'll help you create that plan of attack. So your walk, concentrating on your powerful alpha walk. That's one area that you can focus on as you plan your day. I'm working on my walk. And you may do that for a week or 3 weeks until you've really mastered it. How about paying attention to the alpha male traits in others just by observing, hey, today I'm going to really make a conscious effort in noticing alpha, alpha, alpha. Oh, that guy's a real beta. Rate it from a scale from 1 to 10. You're going to pay attention to the alpha male traits in others. Work on your powerful alpha male facial expressions. We talked about throughout this course how you communicate non-verbally through your facial expressions and how those 100 muscles in your face are sending messages. Now we're going to consciously control that. We're going to talk about that momentary neutral expression that you don't respond when people on their timetable, you do it on your own timetable. All right? And there's a way to do that during good times and when negative situations. You control the events, that your facial expressions. How about your powerful eye contact? That's an area that you can focus on until it's mastered. How about your strong presence? When you're walking in groups, you're leading to that door or you're going against traffic, carrying that strong presence that you're leader, you're the man with the plan, you're going in a certain direction, and then watching other people as they just naturally yield the way for you because that's something you're focusing on. How about practicing to present yourself in the best light to others, that you become your spin doctor, you start selling yourself, you have your 30-second elevator speech, so to speak, that you are presenting yourself in the most powerful manner, confidently. You're not playing yourself down, you're not acting humble. You're presenting yourself in a very powerful manner. That's something you can concentrate on. How about just the way you stand? Just your stand. We talked about the specific. We broke that down into the specific from the ground up, how you stand. And we also talked about the way you sit. Maybe you're going to concentrate until you master the way you stand and the way you sit as a powerful alpha male. We talked about risk-taking and how that's all relative. Something to think about there. Maybe you're going to concentrate on stepping up and taking more risk. Validation of other people. We talked about how the alpha male sets his own frame. He isn't seeking validation from other people. You might find that you're maybe doing that more than you want. And you want to concentrate on never seeking anyone's opinion on something that you know that you don't need their opinion on. Don't get in that habit. Break that habit. You just do it on what you're planning, what you're wearing. All right? You don't ask for people's opinion. And sometimes you do that verbally, but you might say something or do something and you catch yourself checking out, what do they think of this shirt? Or I said that, do people think I'm stupid? You might do it non-verbally, seeking their validation and approval. You want to knock off those verbal cues. You want to stand tall, stand proud. You want to fake it till you make it. Focus on never expecting the validation of others. That's a MANformation alpha male leadership quality that you can focus on until you master it. We talked about the frames of relationships, how important it is to know exactly what you want and to use your influence and persuasion skills to have everyone work in your frame. So maybe that's something you want to concentrate on until it's mastered. You know, the skill set of what would it take until I'm totally man-formed? Think about that. Really think about that. We know we're going to do that every single night for 3 months, but that's something you really want to concentrate on. I talked about taking charge of your environment. When you walk into a restaurant, do you sit where they want you to sit? When you see there's an awesome table across the way, just asking for it. If the restaurant is too warm, you want to turn the air conditioner down. I talked about playing pool and moving things out of your way. An alpha male takes control of his environment. He sits where he wants to sit. He doesn't just sit where he's told to sit if he doesn't have to. He takes control of his environment. That's something that maybe just constantly thinking about. Again, there's so many of these great strategies that I know you're absorbing. Okay, we don't want to just do them haphazardly. We want to focus on them for a certain period of time so we can master them. An alpha male makes decisions. He's decisive. And it can be small decisions, big decisions, or anything in between. Maybe 1 week, all you're going to concentrate on is making snap decisions. You're going to do it with congruent body language and voice qualities. And you're going to make as many decisions as humanly possible. The alpha male gets special favors. Maybe for 1 week, you want to just make outrageous offers. You want to have outrageous requests just to see how that all works. You may have been told, don't ask for very much in life. Don't ask for very much from people. Oh, they'll say no. Oh, there's no way I can get this. Maybe just for the fun of it, you're going to start playing with it. You're going to focus on that one area to start asking for more from people. Heck, all they can say is no, and look what you'll learn. Maybe 1 week, all you want to do is focus on the environment of the people around you. That's what you're going to focus on. We talked about all the people in our lives who can help us, those resources, who our rules, beliefs, values, and standards line up with, who we can lead. Maybe we can get a group of men who we can lead. Maybe for 1 week, you're just going to focus on creating a powerful environment of people around you. Simple things like compliments, just saying thank you. And saying in a manner that, of course, and you can expect a lot more from me. I get this type of compliments all the time because this is just who I am and what I'm all about. Instead of, oh, golly gee shucks, it was nothing. Oh, well, that's so nice. No, it's just a simple thank you. All right? How about if you know you have people offering you things and you kind of, I shouldn't take things from people, and you have this timid approach to it. And the alpha male gladly accepts when he's given special favors or being offered things. And you accept everything that's offered you. And if it's ground pepper on your salad and you don't want, you just go through, you know what that's like. You don't theorize it, you experience it. You focus on that one area of your alpha male leadership skills that you're going to accept everything that's offered you instead of pushing it away. And you'll find that more and more things get offered to you. How about controlling the frame? We talked about controlling the frame of the relationships with other people. How about for 1 week, you control the frame of your emails or your phone or your instant messages or even your doorbell, that you don't let other people control the frame when you're on, when you answer, what you're doing, is that you get in the habit with this communication technology, these different vehicles, that you control the frame instead of letting them come into your life and control what you're doing and how you're thinking. Instead of giving suggestions or opinions or preferences, something non-threatening, maybe the way you used to think, the way you deal with other people, you start giving confident directives. A leader tells, he doesn't ask. You work on giving directives all week long. A lot of times people want you to lead them. We've talked about that. People want you to lead. They're looking for a leader. If not you now, then who when? All week long, anytime it is possible, or you create opportunities to give directives. How about you focus on using less time and fewer words to get your message across when speaking to others? Is that something you need to work on? Do you find yourself doing a lot of explaining? There's a lot of qualifying statements. There's a lot of seeking validation. Things you say, they're formed in way too many words, taking way too much time that your message is watered down. And you're cutting back on your effectiveness, right? Do you need to practice using fewer words and using less time to get your message across? Again, instead of knowing that's a trait of a powerful alpha male, you are going to take that on for a week and really master it. It doesn't take a lot of time of mastering one particular area, feeling it, feeling the effects on you and your mindset and your emotions and feeling the effect on other people before it gets ingrained into your personality. You have to single it out. You have to work on it. You have to work through the bugs and you have to master it. How about asking people for exactly what you want from them this week? All right, for a week, you're going to just be clear, concise, and bold and ask people exactly what it is you want. We talked about an alpha male is comfortable in any social situation, one being at the dinner table or out amongst friends. How about you concentrate on your table manners? You go look on the internet, you look for those 10 fundamentals like I talked about, and you rehearse, you review, you make sure you know everything so you feel totally comfortable. You just focus on that area of your life. That's a way to become more powerful, more influential, more comfortable in social situations. Here's another one. How about take the initiative to introduce yourself to other people? And how about introducing people who don't know each other to each other? Step up, be the man, be a leader. Don't let it just happen. Just concentrate that on every situation you are until you master it, until it becomes a part of your personality. I want you to really think about for 1 week what confrontation and conflict means to you and how you need to think about it when you're totally man-formed. For many men, this is a big challenge because as they start going for more of what they want in life, they become more disconnected from other people. And being connected to other people is something that many people value. It's just how much and finding that balance. All right, I want you to really think about that, and I want you to break it down for a week. Focus on mastering this area until you get it down in your mind. And until you start that mastery process, it's not going to happen. How about really thinking about it, really observing in yourself and other people your new definition of the words confidence, arrogance, and humble and how it applies to your life? Really think about it, really break it down, really focus on it. You see, this is, again, it's using the concept of time in your favor, where a week is going to come by whether we're focused on what we think about or not. You're deciding what to think about, and it's all leading you to the man you really want to be. An alpha male is an expert at least in one area of his life. An alpha male is an expert in at least one area of his life. What are you going to be an expert at, or what can you become more of an expert at? Talked about, if you read 5 books in a particular area, you're an expert. You're going to probably know more than 95% of the population. To become more of an alpha male, to become more interesting, to become more entertaining, more comfortable in your own skin. What are you going to become an expert at? Think about that and start the process. How about learning the process of talking to people of the man you're going to be? It's in the future. How you're going to be a man who is this, this, and this, and talking to strangers, and they say, hey, Well, what do you do for a living? And you are going to get so congruent with the body language and your voice qualities with these people that you don't know, that it doesn't matter. And you're going to tell them who you are going to be in the future, the man who you're going to be, what your life is like. And I'm not saying you go on and on, all right? But if your goal is to be the owner of a graphic design business, and right now you work for somebody else, maybe to a stranger, again, with that body language and those voice qualities, you talk to them in the future. I own my own graphics design business in the great part of town, all right? And they're not going to call you on it. They don't really care. And even if they do, say, so what? Hey, I was just practicing. But they're not. You're going to pull it off there just to say, wow, that's interesting. It's important that you do the qualities and characteristics and the actions of a powerful alpha male. He has the ability to see where his life is going to be before it actually happens. And you got to practice that skill set. You got to break the habits of what your friends or family may have told you when you were younger is, oh, don't brag. Don't get your hopes up, okay? That's not how an alpha male leader thinks. Now, I've just thrown out some things. I want you to also go through your notes. And I want you to identify where you need improvement. What's the most exciting? Why don't you pick out a couple of areas that you think are fun and exciting? Maybe you're halfway into the process and you're really enjoying it. And I also want you to challenge yourself to a couple of areas that are a little bit challenging for you. Mix up all the fun stuff with a little bit more challenging stuff. The biggest point that I want to make is I want you to use time to your advantage. I want you to realize a couple of things, that you must focus on this area of your life if you want to master it. You must make small incremental changes, and you must do so for a period of time to become the alpha male leader that you really want to be. And then you must monitor, assess, and document what you're doing so you can actually see it and feel it. Write it down for a period of time before it gets integrated in your personality, because I want this to be more than an interesting topic to talk about. I want this to be more than something that you became aware of and it kind of helped you out. I want you to get the most out of this information by dedicating 3 months of your life of concentration and focus and documenting, so you'll really feel its full power and your life will never be the same again. And it's already going to go in a whole different direction that you're not even going to realize, because once I've told you this information, you can't go backwards. You are becoming aware of things that you're immediately changing your life. Your life is now going in a totally new direction because you've invested your financial resources in this course, and you've invested your time and energy listening to this information. Like I said, once a bell has been rung, you can't do anything about it. You've heard it now. And it's going to improve the quality of your life. 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 Improve the quality of your life.